Hello everyone, and welcome to Lesson 5. Today we're going to be talking about ledger lines. Now, I know that we talked just briefly about them during the last lesson, but hopefully today we're going to go a little more in depth because I know they can be confusing right off the bat. So, let's start by labeling our paper, and as always, you should take notes with me because I think it's more beneficial for your brain if you're practicing the movements with thinking and all that good stuff. So, write notes as you see fit, and as always, refer back to parts of the video that you may need help with. So, ledger lines. Remember, the main purpose of a ledger line is to extend the staff. Staff is that word that we've been talking about for 5 lessons now. It's how we communicate music, right? If we draw one right here, it has 5 lines and 4 spaces. And remember, the spaces are created by drawing a line, so it's not like we're creating something abstract. 5 lines, counting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the spaces in between, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, now, a ledger line. Hey, let's throw a clef on there for now, just a treble clef, just so we have something to work with. Ledger lines simply extend the staff. So we start with these 5 lines and 4 spaces, but the notes keep going. They can go higher, they can go lower, but in order to keep it more concise, we kind of stick with these 5 lines, and then if we need to add more, we just add short lines called ledger lines. So an example would be, we know that this note here is D, right? We can calculate, we can remember G always because it's where the slips are on. G, A, B, C, D. E would be next because we're always using 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, those 7 letters. So E is next, then F, and G goes above the staff. Now, if we want to keep going, which we can, because the pitch can keep getting higher, right, depending upon the instrument or the voice that we're using, the pitch can keep going higher. We want to add a short line like this, and we call this guy right here a ledger line. It should be the same distance as from like line 4 to line 5, between line 5 and the first ledger line. And all it does is create another way for us to continue going up the staff. So this note right here is the note A, or the pitch A, right? And I can keep going up, but I always start with the same line, right? There's a gap here because it's still a ledger line, but we have to start with them in line here. So 1, and then the note above that ledger line, this one's on the line, right? A is on the line, B is above the line. Can keep going even higher. Start with that first line that's in the same line here. B was in this space, right, that's where this is, and C is on that second ledger line. So we can keep going higher, I mean, if we want to. Start here, then we need the next one. D would sit on top, and E would be 3 ledger lines. You can go as high as you need to, You can also go as low as you need to, right? So I'll draw one more staff just so you can see it. Feel free to draw as much of this as you need to. This is all for you all, right? So there's our, we'll use base clef, that's fine. Say I want this note G, and we know that is where, because of what we've learned in the past few days, this note is G, so it looks a little funny. I want to go down. Remember, as we go down the staff, we say this alphabet backwards. So F would be the first note below the staff. Now to go any lower, we don't add a whole nother line. We add just a partial line or a ledger line, right? So it should be about the same distance here. One before F would be E. So low E is on this ledger line. We can go even lower. Below the line would be D, right? We're going backwards. G, F, E, D. 2 ledger lines is another C. And you can go as far as you want, right? Before that would be B. 3 ledger lines down would be an A, right? So if you need to extend the staff in either direction, whether it be treble going up or down, whether it be bass going up or down, you just add ledger lines, and they're just short portions of a line. Remember, there always has to be a group that are in line here, and then the next one would be in line also, even though there's a gap between. So those are the ledger lines. Hopefully that helped a lot. We're going to look at this exercise, or these exercises today. I'd like you to pause your video. You can draw this or just fill in the blanks, whichever works best for you. And when you're done, I'd like you to restart the video, and we're going to go through the answers. Question 1. Draw a treble clef and name the notes. So, following all the directions, first thing we need a treble clef. So we get that. Now, the treble clef tells us which letters go with these different notes, which letters or which pitches go with the different notes. This first one is a one ledger line down, so that note is a C. One above, that's a B. One below, that's also a B. G goes right above the staff. D, C, and A. Okay, so check your work against mine. If you need more help, you can pause and go back, or go to one of the other videos, or give me a message, shoot me a message. Question 2 says to draw a bass clef and name the notes. So, first direction is to draw a bass clef. Nailed it. Now we have to name each of these. So, you can refer back to something if you need to, but do your best to try without it first. You can always use the tricks. So this first note is an F, then a C, right? And then we have a D, B, going down, E, right? G's on the bottom, F, then E is that ledger line. Right, 2 above, B would be here, B, C, D. You need to remember those. And then 2 down is C. Right, and there's no problem too. I'm going through these quickly, but if you need to count up from something, like this top line right here is an A, I can write that here. And then I know between them is a B, and I know this note has to be a C. Right? Write on these as much as you need to. This is all about you all learning, not me. Okay, question 3. Write each of the indicated notes in 4 places on the grand staff. Right, so we have a grand staff, treble, bass linked together. And it wants 4 different notes, and I gave you an example, right? C, 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 C. We have to do D, so easy to start, right? We know it's 1 above. And then we can do 1 above here, and then 1 here. Now, something I should point out, this note right here that's 1 ledger line above the bass clef is the exact same as this note. Right? Those 2 notes are the same. So if I wrote that one, it technically would be right. There would be 4 different ones. So what I would need to do is to go either up above here and draw that note, or go below the bass clef. So this note is the same as this one, right? So we just won't use that. Okay, E. Now we know that there's an E below the staff because we did it just a second ago. And we have an E in the 3rd space, 1st line, and top space. Okay, F. Below that 1st space, line number 4, right, line number 4, bottom space, top line. Sorry, I messed this up. Let's fix that. That's why I paused there for a second. I knew that was wrong. So this isn't 2 ledger lines down, it's just 1 ledger line. That note is E right there. Okay, so apologize for my mistake. G here is the 1st line, top space, 2nd line, and above the staff. Notice they're just getting higher each time, so you don't have to do too much. A would be the bottom space, top line, 2nd space, and then 1 ledger line above the staff. B, 2nd line, above the 1st line, or above the top line, middle line, and then 1 above the ledger line. Okay, so that's the exercises. Hopefully you got them right, even though I made that little mistake there. Remember, go back and pick up what you didn't get. If you need to go to a different video, by all means. And then if you need to shoot me a message. And as always, have a fantastic day.